Okay. Good afternoon, guys. What are the things we have been seen in last sessions? Last 2 to 3 sessions. What are the things we have been covered? Spread, rested, and promises. In the promises, what are the methods we see? Then what is mean by them? How to implement the asynchronous function? What are the methods we have been seeing in that asynchronous function? Sync away, that is one thing. Next. Then what are the things we have been seeing in that asynchronous functions?
Asynchronous function.
There is 3 methods for executing the asynchronous function. Like that is one method. 3 methods we executing asynchronous programming. Okay. What are the 3 methods?
Append.
See, this is the status now. I have been teaching that topics, asynchronous programming for a week. Okay, there is 3 methods. Okay, one method is overcome another methods. Okay, that step. What are the things? When you catch finance.
Promises.
That is promises.
Asynchronous.
I am asking what are the methods to execute the asynchronous programming. One is the callback, promises, and another one is async wait. Okay. Anyone tell what is callback in asynchronous programming? What is the drawback of callback?
In callback functions, if the function is like, if the code is small, then it's going to be a readable. Callback in callback functions.
In callback functions, code is far small.
Code is readable.
Callback function.
It will call it
Hard to read.
yes.
If I am going to execute the code will be messy. It's if I am going to create a multiple callbacks, then it will be
Callback.
okay. In callback function, the code will be messy, and every callback need to wait for the previous callback. Okay.
It is called callback and
Callback fail. That's we are saying callback fail. Multiple times we are calling that thing. Okay. What is promises? Okay, Samir, what is callback promises? What are the 3 states in promises? Samir? You only Samir. There is any Samir in class? What is mean by pending?
It is initial state
Okay.
not fulfilled or rejected.
Not fulfilled or rejected. How we can analyze this state is pending? How? How we catch that promises is pending? Anyone tell?
Maybe if the operation is not completed, you can tell it is in pending state.
Yeah.
And it is in initialized state from the starting phase, initialized phase.
What is initialized phase in promise?
The API which is fetching the data during the process we call the pending.
Okay. How we catch that?
By giving dot,
Hmm?
dot then keyword.
Yes.
By
Dot
By
dot to
giving dot then keyword.
that time we can catch that value only. Catch the data, catch the response. For that we are using then.
Right.
How we catch that pending state?
Definition.
Until that finally it's executed, it is in a pending state only. Until the finally or until that then, until that catch, anything is executed, that is in a pending state only. Okay. What is you catch? How we catch that error in the promise? Okay. Sunny said three states. Okay. Fulfilled, resolved. That means fulfilled, pending, and rejected. How we catch the reject message from the promise?
after completing the pending process, it will be sure either the process is rejected or other the process is done.
Okay. How we catch? How see? What are the data is catch from the reject? I said the answer also. In the question is only their answer is there.
Invalid.
Invalid? Okay. If I am going to execute on API fetching, okay. In that API fetching, I am going to implement the promises. I am having 3 then and 1 catch, and I am already created 1 promise. Okay. While creating that promise, there are 2 things. What are the things? What? Response? Response? Resolve and reject. Okay. What are the things came from the result? Resolve. That is a result of the fetching process. The result of the promises. Okay. What are the things written in the reject? That is a error. I can be capture that reject by using the catch. Okay. This is the third time I am taking that promises. What is the reason of that? Everyone forget that promises concepts. All of them done assignments in that promises also. What is the reason? Okay, leave promises. Okay, last session we have been seeing that closure. What is closure? What is meant by closure?
we declare outside the main function any variables, we can access.
What is the use of that closure? We are going to declare that variable in the outside and accessing that by using the function. That is the execution method of the closure. What is the use of closure? What thing we are implementing that using the closure? What thing? What's that? Encapsulation. What is meant by encapsulation? Setting that variable in that private, okay, protecting that variable, okay. For that, without affecting that variable, executing some functions. For that, we are using the closure, okay. Here, all the data's work has been, all the, see, here only,
Send the notes and the
if I send the notes, what cost? Nothing will be happen. See here, without using the closure property, I am going to execute the same function. It will be execute the same thing multiple times. Okay, but I am going to incrementing that value or incrementing that data or updating the data in that one section, in that one variable means I need to put that variable outside of the function, because if I call that function, that executing from the initial state only. Okay, to avoid that, we are using that closure, putting the variable in the global state and accessing that. Okay, if I am declaring that variable in the closure, what will be happen in the memory? The variable is stored in which memory? Heap memory. Okay, because that variable is, that value is related to the referencing to the one function. Okay, so the referencing data are stored in the heap memory. Okay, and here this is one example for that only. Okay, here I have been initializing the balance in the outside of the function, as in that bank. Okay, I am going to initialize the balance in the outside of the function, and inside that function I have one or two functions. One is used for deposit and another one is used for the withdrawal. Okay, here I am going to deposit means it just adding that value, it won't change that any functions. Okay, by I am executing that operations by using that separate function, that's it. Okay, for the same variable. And another one thing, okay, what are the things in JavaScript or object? What is object in JavaScript? Okay, someone said, what is object in JavaScript? Object?
object is the instance of the class.
Object is the instance of the class.
Here in JavaScript, it's the object is not class.
Okay, in JavaScript for until 14 days, we are initialize any classes in JavaScript? How? How we are using that object in JavaScript? Everything?
Everything is an object in JavaScript.
It's in the screen. Okay, which are the things that are storing in the heap, that are the referencing types, that all the things are the object. Okay, here in arrays, functions and object. Okay, if I am going to declare an array, it's going to declare as an array. Get that creating that object for the array method only. Okay, if see, I am declaring one array means the process for creating this, assigning this array is JavaScript will be find out if I am writing any variable, any data inside that square bracket, that is a array. How it find it? While I am declaring that variable, while I am declaring that array, how it will be find? This is the array. How it will be find? Now here I am going to create one string. Okay.
Because we are providing square brackets and the same elements.
How? See here, I have two things. One is a string and another one is an array and another one is an object. Okay. I am declaring three things. How the JavaScript will be, and I find out this is a array, this is a strings, this is a object.
Like parentheses.
Okay, while declaring that variable, okay, for that everything, array, object or the functions, for declaring that variable, it's going to create a one prototype. Okay, like create a one prototype from the existing thing. Here I am declaring that array. Okay, declaring that array, it's captured by using the square bracket. Okay, it is an array, it will be analyzed. It's going to create one prototype from the array. That is array, this array. Okay, from this array, it's going to create a one object for this array. That is a prototype array. Okay, here we are declaring that prototype of this array. What is difference between this array and this array? This is object. See, here I am declaring that creating one object from the existing constructor. Okay, what is constructor? I asked Muthu bro. Here because he only taking Java classes. What is constructor in Java class? To initialize. While we are initializing that constructor, that will be going to initialize the values for that program. Okay. If I am going to create an object for that constructor, I can be initialize some values in that program. Okay. See, if I am going to initialize, I am going to create one class as an animal. See, one constructor as the animal. Every animal makes sound. Okay. I am going to create one object as a dog. Dog, what thing do? Dog will be brag. Okay. I am saying dog will be brag. It will be converted to dog brag in the animal. Okay. In that every animal have a one need a one property. Dog also have a make a noise. Okay. For that thing, I am going to create a dog as an object and calling that constructor. That time dog also see. I have two things. One is a dog, another one is an animal. Okay, animal makes sound. Okay, here dog. Okay, I am saying I am adding animal sing. Okay, then I am going to create a one object from the animal. That is a dog. Okay. Now I am going to create an object from the animal. That is, if I am defining that animal sound, animal sing, and animal dance. Like that I am going to create means If I can be able to access all of them, dog can be sound, dog can be sing, dog can be dance. Okay, I just pass the values and is true or false. Okay, just to make it happen. Okay, and for the same like this. Okay, I'm going to write create one array. Array. Okay, what are the things array can do? What are the array methods? The 6 things only you said, rather than 36. Just to set that 6 things we are seeing. Map, filter and reduce. Everything is coming. Okay. Okay. Map, filter, reduce and for each. Okay. These are the things array can do. I am going to create this as an object. So I need a actual array. Actual array constructor.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. In that array only, this all of the methods are inbuilt. Okay. Have you understand? Understand or not? While we are going to create one object, what thing will be happen? How it's creating that object? From where? Hmm? From the constructor, array constructor. Okay. If I am going to create one array means it's going to create one object from the array constructor. If I am going to create a set of string means it's going to create a string constructor. Okay, object from the string constructor. How it will be find that? It's going to create that value. In the Java, we have a one method that is a constructor. But here,
Revoke automatically.
how it invoke automatically? Okay, in the JavaScript we have some syntax. In the initial state there are some syntax that is a different from current syntax. Which language they are designed that syntax? By using which language JavaScript is created? C++. Okay, JavaScript is created by using the C++. Okay, in the C++, that is object oriented or not?
Yes.
Okay, in that language, while I am creating that array in that C++, by using C++, I can be able to create the constructor. Okay, in that constructor, I am going to add some methods. That is a for each and what are the things, filter, map, and all of those methods are I am going to create. Okay, I just creating the object for that constructor. Okay, see, this time I am going to create one array, same like that array. I am going to create. While I am creating, there are the two things happen. That array value is initialized and also the prototype for that array is created. Okay, what is meant by prototype? Sample of the real one. Okay, it's taking the copy from the real one, not an actual copy, it's a sample. Okay, what are the things my actual is do? All of them are my prototype can be do. Okay, okay, can you understand prototype? Okay, if I am going to understand, I have done another one. While I am log this value, what will be happen? I just initialize the value. I am going to log. What will be happen? No, it's just a array only. I am going to.
Undefined.
maybe null. We don't give
You
any.
said undefined. What is mean by undefined? Hmm? When that value become undefined?
Maybe we don't give any values.
It will be undefined.
Yes.
Okay, here what thing is happening? I just gives that empty array only. Okay, see the difference. If I am going to, I am using this as a let and defining this means it also I am just created the array. Now here this array is created but the value is null. Okay, that thing only I saying from the initial. While I am declaring that array, it's giving the prototype from the actual array. Okay, it's creating that prototype object. Okay, here while I remove this, what will be happen? Now it will be undefined. Okay, but while it's seeing the square bracket, it's assumed that create a prototype from the actual array. Okay, here what will be? What is the output here? Yeah, now it's not. Okay, yeah, nothing will be shown here. Okay. Now, okay, we are going to access that actual array. What will be output here? We are going to access the actual constructor. Actual constructor is defined by the C++. Okay, by using C++, we are creating one constructor for array that is going to show here. See what is inside the native code. It won't show here. Okay, what is native code here?
Prototype code.
That is a C++. Okay, that is a native code of the array method. Okay, array of method. If I am going to access that values, I am going to create the prototype for the array. Okay, I just call by dot prototype. Okay, now it will be access all of this method. See that 36 methods are here. Okay, it fetch create on prototype and fetch all of the method from the array. Okay, have you understand now what is prototype? Okay, just creating that copy from the actual. Okay, I just created that copy. Okay, if I am going to create a copy for a object.
It is what's two packages.
Yeah. In Java, we are need to import that values. Okay. If I am going to create an array means Java has certain rules to create them. Okay. But in JavaScript, same like that, we are going to create a prototype. Okay. For the actual thing, I am going to create a prototype. That is happening here. Okay. And here. Okay, for the object. Okay, I said this object also one object. Okay, that is one type of object in the JavaScript. Okay, in the Java, if we are going to create anything, any object, the initial is what thing is needed? I am going to create one object. What is the initial step of the object creation?
Create a constructor.
Create.
Class name.
We need a class.
Class.
Okay, inside class only we need going to create an object. Okay, see in the class that is a blueprint. Okay, we are going to build that building by using the classes in the Java. In the JavaScript, it's quite different. There is a no class, there is a no blueprint, but we are going to build a building. Okay, without having a class, we are going to create the objects. Okay, that everything in that we are declaring in the JavaScript, that will become an object. Okay, if I am declaring that object means this is a set of values. Okay, that is also one of the object. Okay, if I am going to do console, okay, what will be the output here?
Maybe it gives only balance.
Okay, empty object is created from the actual object. Here, I need to access that values. Okay, I'm going to create a prototype for this object. What thing I need to do means, that is the same like that keyword is different for the object. Okay, for the object only, if I going to access that prototype, okay, if I declare that one object, I need the prototype of the object. Okay, that thing I'm going to create access underscore underscore proto underscore underscore. Okay, by using this, I can be able to access this object's prototype.
Why it's like that? Sir?
Hmm?
Why it's like that? Not simple.
Okay, I am going to access that actual value. Okay, same thing I am going to access by using this thing means it won't reflect because I am going to access that. Okay, here I am saying the name. Okay. Okay. Initially I said what thing happening here? It's creating that prototype from the actual object. Okay, while declaring this as an object, it's going to create a prototype from the actual object. Okay, now this is a object only. Okay, this is the one object for the prototype. For the actual value, this is one object. We are going to access this actual value by using this object. Okay, here this is an object. I am defining it. If I am going to access the actual object, actual here we can be used this array. Okay. Okay. Now the array is created. I am accessing that prototype for this object only. This is object or array?
Array.
Object of the array. Okay. This is we have created the actual object for that array. Okay. Here I am going to access the prototype for this object, array object. Okay. But I need to access that actual prototype. Okay. That is array dot prototype. Okay.
Yes.
Here I am accessing the prototype for the object. Here I am accessing the prototype for the array. Okay. Have you got the difference? What is the that are the two keywords? Just the two keywords that are using to access that prototypes. Okay. What will be the output here? Same thing. Huh?
In the array, we are directly accessing the prototype of the array.
Yeah.
Over there in test, we are accessing the.
Not direct access. We are accessing the prototype for by using the object. We are accessing the prototype of the actual value, actual constructor. Okay. See, have you understand that constructor and object concepts? Have you understand? Everyone? Okay. Then why you got this type of. See. Two things are same. Okay. Two things are giving that same response.
Yes.
Okay. The keywords only changeable. Okay. Now you have understand why we need to use prototype and why you use that underscore underscore prototype. Okay. Where to use it? Okay. Any doubt so far? Okay. These are the things we are accessing from the actual array, actual object and actual values. Okay. Now I am going to create a value for myself. I am going to create an object for myself. Okay. Close this, and I am having that another one object. Okay. And another one thing is, just we take two things. Okay. Put it in the top of. Here I have a two objects. Okay. I need to create the prototype. Initially I said what is prototype? We can be taking the copy of that actually. Okay. If I need to copy these two things in a one array, what I do? Sorry. If I need to copy these two things, data and the education, what I need to do? Hmm? Create array. See, my question is simple. I need to create that object. See, there are the two objects. I need as a single object. It's possible or not? How can I achieve that?
Simply we can create an array and put the data inside of the array.
How we can do that? Here someone
Create an object inside.
create object inside. I don't need into the array. I need to create object, another one object. Okay, I need to create another one object. All of those values are need to inside. That's it. How to do that?
Create an array and give that education and data.
How we give that to the education and data to the another array? See, this is a object. Objects of values like keys and values. Okay, we need to create another one object only. Okay, I have created one object. Okay, another one object. Inside that object, I need all of the values. How to put that? Hmm?
Create an object inside the data.
Create the object
Inside the data.
and copy paste all the data in
No,
that.
like that. You can create a variable.
How to we can create the variable?
Data structure on dictionary.
So creating an object and placing these objects in
Placing this object.
a new object.
Okay, which method we can do that? How do we do that? My question is just simple. I need to copy two things inside the new object. Okay, I need to collect the data and store that. What about rest?
Words.
What about rest and spread, guys? What is the use of rest and spread? Hmm? Hmm? What does the rest do? Collecting the data. What that spread do? The collected data will be spread. That's it. That is a simple thing only. For copying the data, I am going to collect all of those data and put it in the spread. Okay. By using collect all of the data and put it in the spread, it will be collect those data. All of the guys are inside the class or outside? Anywhere? Okay, just learn about theoretically means all of them are learned by using that mobiles, ChatGPT, all of them are possible. Okay, if you are doing that practically, if you make the practice, then only you will be understand this concept, how to use that things. Just understand all of this concept, what is inheritance, what is spread and rest, what is encapsulation, all of these concepts are anyone can understand. Okay, this is that, this is that. How we are going to use that? What is the use of using that? That thing is the main matter. Okay, okay. Just to see, if I am going to create all of them data into the single object means I am going to create const user data okay. Now all of the data comes to the user data. Okay, here I am also now this time. Okay, I need to access all of the data into the single object. That means I need to create a new object. Without creating the new object, I am going to access that value by using prototype. Do you understand? See.
So you say like we created already 2 objects.
Okay, there are the 2 objects. Okay, that is one education and another one is a data. Okay, I need to access all of the data into the single object.
So we created a new object.
New object. Okay, we create a new object. This time, what will be happen means it's going to create another object. It means it's going to create a space. It's going to memory allocation for the new object. Okay. To avoid that, I am going to access this all of these values by using accessing that prototype. Okay, by accessing the prototype, I am going to access all of those values of the 2 objects. Okay, can you understand? Previously, we are creating the prototype object for the existing things. Now we have created 2 objects. We are going to link those things. That's it. See, actually previous like that, if I have been created an object, I am creating that prototype means it's going to create a prototype of my object. Okay, now I am going to link that. That's it. Same thing. Okay, what is here output?
With the education object values.
Okay, it's going to create that showing that what are the things, what are the prototypes, what are the values of the actual value, actual object. Okay, now I'm going to create that prototype for data as a education. Okay, now I am deciding creating like education proto data. See, now I am copying that same thing. What will be the output here?
We get the data object output.
See, okay, here actually it's in the initial I am declaring that object values. Okay, in the initially I am declaring that object, it's have the own properties of the actual constructors. Okay, in the initial value of this education is, initial prototype value of this education is actual value of a object. Okay, actual value of the object constructor. Okay, now I have been changed that prototype value. Okay, see, if I need to access these values means, if I need to access that constructor has one property, is property of the that values are, I'm going to access means I'm access like dot constructor. Okay, it will be use that method of that.
Separately we can access.
Okay, it will be accessed inside that value. Now here it hold that properties, it hold that values of the prototype of a data. Okay, I have been changed that to data. Now if I need to access that data values, I can be able to access by using education. That's it. Okay, if I going to access that value, okay, education.id, actually there is a no ID in that education. Understand or not? Any doubt, ask.
Will you repeat once?
Otherwise, what?
If we can repeat once.
Repeat one second. Okay. See, if I am going to create any object or any array, any string, okay, there is a one actual constructor is there in the JavaScript. Okay, if I am declaring that object, if I am declaring that array, if I am declaring that value, it create the own prototype from the actual constructor. Okay, is there object, array, or anything else, strings, anything else, it's going to create a own prototype of itself. Okay, then I need to access that values means, if I need to access that prototype means I am using that this prototype. Okay, okay, it have its own. Okay, here see, I have a education object. Okay, inside that object, this is a one object. I have been create that value from the actual object.
Can you show me like canvas tutorial presentation?
Yeah. See, this is a JavaScript code that written by the C++. Okay, here there are the assume three things: object, array, and another one is a string. Okay, I'm going to create these things from the JavaScript code. Okay, this is a JavaScript actual code. Okay, this is actual JavaScript code. I'm going to create that object, array, and the string. Okay, while I'm creating that value, while I'm creating that, assigning that value, it's create the prototype from the actual things. Okay, what is use of constructor here? See, all of them are, if I am going to create that object means, I am going to create that object means, it will have a one some values. Okay,
Predefined values.
predefined values. Okay, predefined constructor is inside the JavaScript. It going to create the object for that. Okay, if I have an object, I am going to access that. If I have a constructor. Okay, what is mean by constructor? It's initialize some values. Okay, I am going to access that constructor. Means I need to create an object. Okay, that's why here I have one constructor inside the JavaScript. I am going to access that constructor by creating object. Here, okay, we have been see array. Okay, array. Okay, I am going to create array. I have a actual constructor, array constructor inside the JavaScript code. Okay, I just creating that object for the array and accessing that constructor. Okay, can you understand how we access that actual constructor, array constructor? Any doubt? Same code as Java only. If I have one constructor, I am going to access that constructor. Means I need to create an object. Then only I can be access that constructor. Okay, same like that. Here I have a one constructor. I am going to access means I am going to create that array. I have an array. I need an array means I am going to, while I am defining that array, it's going to create one object for the actual array.
Yes.
Okay. Same like the string also. If I need to declare that string, then means it's going to create an object and assign that variable as a what we need. Here it is education. Okay. For this object, it's creating one object from the actual constructor and it's assigning these values. Okay. Any doubts? Can you understand this? Okay, I am assigning that values to that constructor by using this object. Okay, then I need to know that actual prototype. Okay, what are the prototype? What are the methods that inside the constructor? I need to know. Okay, that means I can be accessed by using prototype. Okay. It is possible to access that values inside the constructor, actual constructor. Okay, by using this hyphen underscore proto, I can be able to access that what are the methods, what are the things, what are the objects inside the constructor, I can be able to access. Okay, in the JavaScript, how we access that? By using dot. Okay, by if there is a one constructor, I am creating an object, by I need to access means constructor dot that value. Okay, sorry, object dot that value inside that method. Okay, that things I am going to same like that. We are just creating that prototype. Okay, here that is a prototype. Getting that actual things in that value. Okay, actual constructor inside that. Okay, I just here I have two values. Okay, I need to link these two. Okay. So, I am going to override that actual value. Okay. I am going here, the actual value is there. I just override that value by using this another object. That's it. Now, I can be able to access by using this education. See, here if I there is some values. Okay, there is a actual method, some methods I need to access means if there is a constructor, assume that I need to access this actual methods inside that constructor, then I am going to access education proto. Now I am access that object constructor. Okay, inside the constructor there are some methods, constructor, assign, create, there are some methods. I am going to access that method means I just put dot constructor. Now I am access that constructor method inside that object. Okay. See, I have inside that object I have some native code that won't show. Okay. I just access that constructor. Same like that, if I just change that prototype here. Okay. Here I just change the prototype to data. Now what are the things inside? This ID, name, grade, city. Okay. If while I am trying to access that, okay, while I am trying, see here the value is changed now. Okay. If I am going to access that values, okay, I am by using education I am going to access that ID means what will happen means it will be checked that education. Okay, it will be checked here in the education. If there is no data, then it go to the data, go to the prototype. Okay, like a copy of that actual data. Okay, education have two data, two values. One is a degree, major and university year, that are the actual data, and it's also have a prototype data, that all the things from the data. Okay.
What if they have both same data types, like same name, cities?
Cities means it gives that value from the education only. See, I have 2 degrees. Okay. Degree. Okay. Now it will be give the bachelor's because I got that value from the education. Okay. So it will be give the bachelor's. If I remove here, if I remove the bachelor's from here, it go to the master's. Okay. It checks the value inside that actual value. It not found. Then it go to the prototype data. Okay. Have you understand this? Any doubt? If I give you the assignment on this, you can do? You can do? Okay. See, here it accessing the data. Okay. Now there are the data. It can be accessed. If I need to put that function inside that object, it's possible. Here, this is a key values. Okay, I need to put that instead of name, I need to create a one new function. It's possible to create. It's possible to create a function as an object value. See here. Okay. Here I just same like this. Here I will create a one key value. Okay, great. And inside that I am creator one function. Okay. Inside that I am creator one function. By accessing that grade, I can be able to access that function. Okay. Just see. That is inside the data. No? Education. Okay. See what is the output here? While I am printing that education, what will be the output? Now that okay, one second. I just create the prototype. Okay. What is the output here?
You get data by this
Only from education.
education.
We get the values from the education. Okay, it will be gives that value from the education only. Okay, these are the actual data. If I even remove this, what will be output here? There is a no data. If I am going to normally, if I am going to access that name in by using the education, what will be happen? It will be access that value. Now there is a no data. Yeah, it shows null. So see the difference between actual data and the prototype data. Okay, prototype data is can be accessible. Okay, we assign that value by using the data only. Actual data is the assigned values. Okay, that won't mingle. Okay. Okay. Now I'm going to access this grid. Okay. It will be print that function. Okay, inside that we are defining that as a function, so it defining that okay function. Okay, understand or not? Okay, then I need to execute this function. Okay, what I need to do? See, this is a good output. There is one function, I called that, but it gives that whole function. I need to print that hello only, execute that function. Okay. What I need to do? If I have a data means it will be gives that also. Okay, if I do like that, it will be gives that code. I need to execute that. How I can be able to execute that?
You're just printing the function. You should to call the function.
Yeah. I need to put function call. Then it will be understand this is a function I need to call, I need to execute that values. Okay, that's it. Any doubts so far?
No, sir.
Okay. See, same thing is happen in the another one thing also. Here what we are doing here. What things we are doing?
Give the prototype function to the data.
What is the use of it?
So we can access this prototype using
Access.
this function.
Using functions?
We can
I just asking, here I have two data. Okay, I just connected those data. What is the use of that?
we can
Why we need to be without creating that these things, the object, we are connected that. Okay, that is the main use of that. Okay, see, here there is a two data and education, and I am going to create data. Okay. Now I'm going to create another one thing. Const
experience.
Okay. Here I am going to create another one prototype. Education. Okay. Now what happened here? That I have a three objects. Okay. I just executing this code. What will be happen?
They are merging all three data
Hmm?
in one object.
Inside the
They are merging all three data in one object.
Okay. Why we need to merge that? There is no actual merging. Okay. No actual data merging is not executing that. Okay. Just copy. Copying means I need to copy that reference. Okay. I need to copy that reference or I need to copy that value. That called copy.
If we execute one data console.log of data, education and experience will come.
How it will become? Here, this is called chaining. Okay. I have a three objects. I just link one object to another, another object to another. By passing that value, I get chaining that value. Okay. Same like that, same like concept. There is another method is there. Same like this, another method is also there. That have a different name and different syntax in other languages also. Think. Here what happening here? I am going to get the data in the data. If there is a data, if check. Okay, I am going to access that. Which one? Company. Okay, I am going to access in the data. With checking here if the data is not available. Okay, it's going to the linked object. That is a education. It's going to check here. There is also data is not available. It's going to experience. Okay, it's going to check that. What is the process of this? Looping. What is that? Inheritance. Okay. If I am going to create access that properties from the parent class, that is an inheritance. Okay. In the JavaScript, we are going to execute the inheritance by using prototypes. Okay. Okay. Any doubt so far? It's clear? Tomorrow if I came and asked these questions, are you able to answer them?
No.
Why?
Tomorrow holiday.
Okay, Monday.
I will try.
Okay. Okay, today I post two things in the group. Okay.
Yeah.
One is a quiz. Okay. Another one is a assignment by using this concept. From the first day to 15th day. Okay, this is 15th day. Okay. From the first day to 15th day, I post one assignment, complete it. Okay. Are you guys are coming Monday or not?
Yes, okay.
Okay. Okay, I will be post whole things. Okay, whole JavaScript classes into the single file. I will be posting in the Telegram. Go through it, and for the HTML and CSS, refer another things. Refer previous posted things. Okay, and do that assignment. Okay. Okay. Thank you guys. Here, if I am going to create JavaScript, these are the if I am going to write any language, it won't write from the scratch. Okay, it will be, see if there is any language is created, if going to the machine means it is a zero sum only. You will see previous languages are the zero sum only. Okay.